The lake water was still, reflecting the clear blue sky and white clouds. Even after losing the frenzy Needle Bee's chase, Wangwan and Binding Wing's mood were solemn, because in front of them there was traces left behind that signified this area was once used by people to start a fire and cook meat. Earth communication eargrass. Wangwan willed and roots grew out of his ear as they extended into the ground and dug their way in. Fang Wan's hearing became many times stronger. After listening for a while, his expression loosened up, as there was no one ambushing in the vicinity. Soon after, he went to the remains of the fire and touched the ashes, not letting go of any evidence that he could find. The fire was started half a month ago. The other parties alone and should not be nearby. After a while, Fang Wan concluded from his findings. Alone, Go masters from a clan have to travel in fives. It seems this person is a demonic Go master. Binding Wing frowned as he shied. If it was a Go master from a clan, they would be righteous Go masters, and there is hope of interaction. If it was a demonic Go master, once they meet, a battle is reassured. This situation is not because righteous people are kind while demonic people are evil, but because when one is alone, they would display their true nature. There are no restraints in the wild, thus they act without reservation. Righteous Go masters move in groups. When they handle matters, they will think about the opinions of the people with them. Thus, they would act more closely to society's norm. Demonic Go masters often moved alone and were very vigilant, having a strong instinct towards danger. Without anyone to rely on, they would always act to determine and ensure their own safety. This was not good news to Fangwan and Binding Bing. When meeting righteous clan-based Goo masters, they could avoid battle, but if they meet a demonic Goo master, there would be definitely fight unless they've displayed sufficient strength that would cause the demonic Goo master to shrink in fear and suspicion. Unfortunately, Goo master that could roam around these wilderness along have around rank 4 cultivation and special methods of their own. How many weaklings would there be? For Fangwan and Binding Wing, one was a new rank there. 3. The other was rank 1 initial stage, without sufficient goo worms to cover all grounds. Even when they traveled in the woods, it was full of danger, and every step was a difficult gamble. If they encounter a demonic master, they will most likely be done for. Thankfully, we discovered the traces of this campfire, so from now on, we should not blindly rush our journey, but recuperate and at least mend our current wounds back to full health, Fangwan said. Binding Bing nodded. After being reminded, she also felt her back hurting. Fangwan summoned the Tusita flower, taking out bandages and medicine, giving a large portion to Binding Wing. Although the Carapace Goose defensive area was small, usually being useless this time, it helped Fangwan by a lot. And because Binding Wing attracted most of the firepower, Fangwan barely had any injuries. He quickly handled his wounds and rushed over to help Binding Wing. Binding Wing took off her upper shirt. Numerous finger-sized holes filled her back, causing fear to whoever who saw it. Frenzy Needle Bee is rank 3, large in numbers and also having penetrating abilities. It countered the Sky Canopy Goo, but Binding Wing also used the Ice Muscles Goo before. So with 2 layers of defense, her life was saved. Binding Wing gritted her teeth, breathing in deeply as she endured the pain of cleaning the wound. Soon after the injury was bandaged, Fangwan placed the empty medicine cans and the last remaining bandage into the Tusita flower. We have little medication items left, the same with bandages, even though we have been thrifty and even reused the bandages when we could. It seems we really need to find a healing go as soon as possible. Fangwan stood up with a solemn expression. Medication is an expendable item and was difficult to make and takes time to collect. If they had a healing goo, not only would the effect be better, it also used permeable essence that can be naturally recovered. With this comparison, the superior one stood out easily. But an ideal goo worm is too hard to find. The truth is, within this half a month, they encountered many chances, but either had insufficient strength or it was an inappropriate environment lacking proper preparations to capture the goo. We have to get a healing goo, but before that, I have a problem here, Binding Wing suddenly said. What problem? Wangwan raised his eyebrows. Binding Wing was naked above and she turned over and pointed to her chest. And these 2 lumps of meat, they are in the way. Wherein they will jump all over the place, and even in battle they are a burden. I want to slice them off, but I'm worried the injury would be too severe. Without a healing goo worm, I might get into even more trouble. She was the bike lane genius, focused on cultivation. She barely knew anything outside of it, just having even less concern towards females. Even though Binding Wing had turned into a girl, she had lived as a guy for her entire life. Thus, she didn't care in her mind and did not treat this body as anything sacred. After all, she knew that the young Gu in Fang Wan's position could give her back the body of a male anyway. Thus, Binding Wing had never thought of herself as a girl. Fang Wan stared at her emotionlessly. There will be too many problems with lacing them off. You can wrap them up. Wrap what? Binding Wing asked. Use the bandage to wrap around your bosom and treat them like an injury. Then they will be fixed in place, Fang Wan said. Binding Wing's expression was helpless and anguished, sighing, sigh, that's the best I can do now. The sun gradually sank as the night sky descended. There were streams of wild beasts coming to the lake to drink water, and the two did not dare to stay there for long. Fang Wan found a naturally formed cave at a nearby steep cliff. Although it was slightly cramped, it was safe. After clearing the birds living within it, the place became their temporary residence. Few days later, Binding Wing's injuries recovered mostly. The two continued on their journey towards Baegu Mountain. But considering that mysterious demonic master on the trip, Fang Wan was extra cautious, constantly stopping and using the Earth's communication eargrass to check the surroundings. On the second day of the journey, their cautiousness reaped them good rewards. He found burnt wood under a tree, evidently caused by the demonic go-master. On the third day, they examined traces of an intense battle near a stream. The corpse of a large green python lay there, the meat fully eaten by wild beasts, leaving behind only a skeleton. The ground was full of its scales, and the stream even moved in a new path after many trees were broken and chopped down. Fang Wan observed for a while, his tone relaxing. That demonic Master once fought an intense battle here with the Green Python. This is a 100 Beast King Green Python to undergo such a fight. It seems that this demonic Master also has rank 3 cultivation. But even so, Fang Wan did not want to meet with this demonic Master. He would rather deal with unintelligent wild beasts or Masters. Masters have intelligence and would use every bit of strength wisely. A rank 3 demonic Master has much greater threat to Fang Wan and Binding Wing compared to the Frenzy Needle Bee. But things do not go according to wishes, and on the afternoon of that day, the two found traces of the demonic Master once again. This demonic Master is injured. There is some flesh that was cut away on the ground here, so it seems the Master got poisoned, Fang Wan said. On Earth, there are no poisonous pythons, but in here they were extremely common. Upon hearing so, Binding Wing's eyes shone brightly. Undeniably, this was good news. The weaker the demonic Master, the more advantageous it is for them. For the next few days, the trace left behind by the demonic Master increased. With his 500 years of experience, Wang Wan deduced that they were getting closer towards the injured demonic Master. Be extra careful. I can deduce that this Master's injury is getting more severe, and the green python's poison has severely infected her body. But because of this, a demonic Master's attitude would easily become more extreme, Fang Wan reminded Binding Wing. Battle would definitely be handled by Binding Wing. Fang Wan's rank 1 initial stage cultivation is useless. The greatest advantage now was that the enemy was out in the open, while Fang Wan and Binding Wing were hidden. The two moved with even more vigilance than before. They moved even more slowly and moved with less distance than before. Eventually, on one afternoon, Fang Wan opened his eyes, keeping the roots coming out of his ears. I found a demonic Master. That person is in that cave at their last breath. Just earlier, he heard the sound of human breathing in that cave. Strike while the enemy is weak. Binding Wing aspired to battle, revealing ruthlessness in her eyes. But she was stopped by Fang Wan. Be patient. We do not need to strike. With this situation in just a few days, she will die of poison. I see, Binding Wing's killing intent reduced. But at this time, the two outside, why bother hiding? I have already found you. A weak voice came from the cave. Hearing this, it was clear that the demonic Master was female. Fang Wan's expression changed immediately, retreating. Don't you want my primeval stones, my goo worms? The voice came from the cave again. Fang Wan and Binding Wing moved even more quickly. Although the other party was weak, her tone was firm. There was definitely some traps put in place that allowed her to be fearless. Moreover, no one is foolish enough to risk it out with a dying person. Leaving after coming here? Hey, hey, there's no such easy way out. You shall all stay. Suddenly, a body came out of the cave. All up to you. Fang Wan's body flickered, hiding his presence. Whining Wing clicked her tongue, activating the sky canopy coup and summoning the chainsaw